Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Oh, so happy to be back reading after one long week break. I had a little vacation, you can call it. So happy 4th of July, American Independence Day to all the American patriots out there, whether you are American, a patriot, someone who's not American but loves America. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day to you. The USA was founded in Philadelphia on July 4th, 1776. And I want to share something with you guys, which is that the US has been going through a Pluto return for the past, let's see, 3 years. Since 2022, the US has been going through Pluto return. So that means Pluto is coming back to the original place that it was in the USA's birth chart, which was in the second house. So this means a lot of things, but essentially it's kind of like a rebirth of a lot of the things regarding money or power structures in the US. Now, Pluto in Vedic astrology and Indian Eastern astrology, which is what I study, is considered to be like the god of death in a way, kind of symbolizing the god of death. So it's a real time of death and rebirth for the US. We see a lot of things happening, power structures breaking down. It is really like a rebirth going on, with Trump and the kind of radical things that he does and the radical things that he stands for as well, crazy, So yeah, guys, today we are looking at the next year of the US. The solar return year, because we're not looking at the year necessarily like from January. We're looking at it from the birthday, which is something that astrologers often do. So if you don't know me, guys, my name is Ali. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Ali. I am a tarot reader, I'm an astrologer, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a person who works with energies, and you're on my YouTube channel. I'm sure you already knew that. Yeah, so I do a lot of different things from this channel. I do celebrity readings, I do readings on politicians, on politics, I do world event readings. Basically I'm doing what I want. Whatever I feel like. And by the way, guys, I do love taking requests from the audience. So if there's anything that you're curious about, any celebrities, political stuff, world events that you're interested to go deep dive into, please comment it down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't already, please like the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of things have happened this year in the US. Trump versus Biden. Trump came in as the president. He appointed these different ministers. Elon was firing everyone, and then Elon himself got fired. And now Trump has this other thing going on with, I'm sorry, I forget the name of the guy who's organizing it, but with kicking out undocumented immigrants, or it's a bit of a thing of cruelty, really. But anyway, without my personal opinions getting in the way of things, this channel is meant to bring clarity to things in the world going on, so we want to know the truth about things. So what we are going to do today is we're going to take some oracles. We're looking at the future of the next 365 days of the US. Starting today, July 4th, 2025, we're going to look at oracles. Then we're going to take the tarot cards. And I have this oracle as well, Oracle of Rama, which, if any of you know the great epic of the Ramayana from India, it is a great a great story with a lot of wisdom in all different ways. Political wisdom, marriage wisdom, life wisdom, you know, all that different stuff. So I think I'm going to take one of these first. And we pick a card. What we do is we pick a card and then we pick one of these, which is, it's kind of like a dice. You see these cards have numbers on them and it gives us more explanation. So let's see what comes up in the Oracle of Rama. Like, we can say a little homage to Lord Rama. Dear Lord Ram, the powers that be, please give us insight and guidance onto what will be this next coming year for the USA. We want to know strongly. Please tell us and let us know. Come out. Anybody wants to come out, please pop out. So this is it. Oh, really good. A good start. Okay. Calm within the storm. Very good. It says, events in the blessed childhood of Rama are retold. Oh, that's really interesting because, as I told you, the Pluto return is going on for the US. So you see this kind of like blessed childhood thing. It's like restarting of some key principal things for the US. So, you know, we know that the USA was founded on this idea that we will be free, you know, we will be free from our overlords back in Europe, you know. We don't need monarchy anymore. We need freedom. We want freedom. We want, I don't know, a republic or democracy or something which is not being ruled over by the old king of England and kings of Europe. You know, we want a free land, a free territory. So that's very interesting. And with number 4 here, it says number 4, calm within the storm. Number 4 is that moon energy. It's that sign of Cancer energy as well, which is all about home and family and nurturing. We see here it says, auspicious results, especially in the early stages of one's endeavors. So it looks like this solar year is going to be better than the last year. But let's take one of these. Please guide us. Tell us what we need to know. Okay. Oh, great. Number 3. And we also have number 3 here again, section 3. So it says here, oh, good. The sweetness of divine love is available. That's really interesting. Bharata, the power of responsibility. So actually in the story of Ramayana, wait. Yes. This is something different. So in the story of Ramayana, Rama was supposed to be king. He was the strongest. And he was destined to be king. But he was exiled from the kingdom. And one of his brothers who stayed back in the kingdom, who was also a prince, he actually, I believe his name was Bharat. So here Rama and Bharat are embracing each other, these two brothers who were like separated kind of forcibly because of politics and things. So I feel like this is saying something especially about, well, I'm getting the indication actually about people in the US who are like on different sides of the political spectrum potentially, because we know that in the US right now, you know, there's a lot of identity politics going on. There's a lot of, there can be a lot of division among people on the left, people on the right. But I feel like I'm actually getting this message right now, the word apologies. Apologies. And I feel like there could be something also about the Trump administration potentially apologizing to foreign nations as well. Especially I do a lot about Canada on this channel because I am Canadian, guys. So I feel like there could be a big reconciliation coming between the USA and Canada as well. I'm getting the indication right now about Britain, about the UK. There could be some kind of reconciliation between the US and the UK coming up this year. I don't know if things were truly broken between them, but I'm feeling like reconciliation. Wow. Also, guys, I am getting an indication about the situation in Ukraine as well. Oh my God, guys, I'm getting a lot of messages right now. It says calm within the storm, you know, and storm is, it can be considered kind of a military thing, you know, like being barraged with missiles or other stuff. Like, I get the indication right now about like Israel, Gaza, and about Ukraine, Russia as well. And we know that the US has a hand in these things that go on around the world, a big hand, you know. They're one of the most powerful military powers. But I'm getting the message about this solar year. For the US, like 2025, 2026, will be a time when things are calmed, when these conflicts get calmed down. And I'm seeing messages, especially in 2026, could be spring 2026. There is going to be calm within the storm. Uh, Calm within the storm of these international conflicts, I feel, and calm between conflicting neighbors. This is really a message I'm getting for this solar year coming up 2025, 26. It's like calm of neighbors. It's like I'm seeing right now this vision, guys, of like, you know, if you have a neighbor, if you live in a house and you live in a neighborhood, American style, and it's like you have a neighbor and there's a fence between your yards and you're kind of like having this conflict over the fence or something, you know. You throw rubbish over their fence and they throw rubbish over your fence. They, you know, pour bleach. I don't know. They pour bleach on your flowers, or, you know, whatever. Um, they don't like your trash can over here. You know, it's kind of this information coming to me, this message coming to me, like neighbor conflicts are like going to go away, and people are, it's like hugging, you know, just like embracing each other. Like, why did that ever happen? Why did that ever happen? And I don't want it to ever happen again. And I feel Trump actually coming to a point where he's like, enough is enough, you know? Um, yeah, especially I'm seeing about Canada and Mexico as well. Like, there can be a strengthening of ties between that whole North America with the US as well. Yeah, very, very interesting. Okay, so that's enough. Spent enough time on that. What else comes up now? Now, I take this past life oracle not to look into the past life of the US, but I am getting a message about this past life oracle card that we are going to be told in a second about things that have been in the past of the US. It can be over the whole history of the US, but I'm seeing in the past 30 years, I'm seeing 80s actually, 80s and 90s, like 70s as well, but particularly 80s is coming up very strongly as a time period that it's like something from that time period is affecting something now. And I get the message like it could have been some kind of treaty or legal document or something like that. Now, guys, I will say disclaimer, I'm not like political genius or anything. If anybody knows more about it and it resonates and you know anything, please comment down below. But we're gonna find out something now from the past of the U.S., which is relevant and like gonna affect things. It's affecting things right now, and it will affect things within the next 365 days as well. So, okay, obsession. What is this? Oh my. These are binoculars. Spying. Okay. Spying. That's really interesting. Obsessive. Obsessive love, jealousy, obsessive lover, other. What does this say? Witness or bystander, secret, LGBT. That's really interesting. Since we are talking about the 80s, you know, that was a time when the whole LGBT movement was pushing a lot more for the rights, and there was, you know, that whole HIV crisis, AIDS crisis happening in the 80s and in the 90s as well. Well, it's still a thing, you know, but father, late Middle Ages, old age. Okay, interesting. So, obsession. That's interesting with the whole LGBT. Well, this could be about social rights and people fighting for their rights, because that is a thing with the Pluto return. You know, the US was essentially founded like an activist country, wasn't it? It was founded as a country where they stood up to oppression, you know, by creating their own nation. Um, so I guess this card could say, especially with the LGBT thing coming up here, it says love here, you see, like um, within the next 365 days, within this next solar year for the US, there can be more going on with um, pushing toward. Yeah, guys, if you hear some car noises, my on my 1 second. Guys ride their motorbikes. Okay, my window's open. It's too hot here. So basically, yeah, obsession card. You know, um, there's still going to be a big focus this year. I feel on the whole, you know, social rights, LGBT, fairness, and equality for all people. Um, and I feel that is a big part of the Pluto return. Also, so Pluto for the US is in the second house, which is about money and wealth. And actually, Pluto, it's such a small planet, and in Vedic astrology, there is this thing as well about Pluto somehow meeting like hidden things as well. It's about transformation as well, the planet of Pluto. By the way, it's about water in a way as well, similar to Neptune. But yeah, little things I feel could be changing, and I'm seeing also like money, some kind of allocation of money. Could be some charities and things raising money. Like I'm seeing and I'm hearing charities, particularly for social justice causes like LGBT, that kind of thing, are saying like we don't have enough money to fund our things. Like the government may not be giving it to them, so they're trying to do it themselves. There's a lot of energy I'm feeling about do it ourselves. We have to do it ourselves. And I'm seeing, in particular for LGBT, coming up 2025, I see there being a big thing about prevention of emotional and like emotional distress issues, like people wanting to unalive themselves, and like support networks for young people as well. Like I feel something coming up with charities. I feel like those charities are already there, but there will be more with that or something in 2025 in the US. Okay, so what else we have here? This one is coming up. What do we need to know about the US in 2025-2026, this next solar year? Soul, interesting. Your soul is preparing to reestablish trust in the process. Oh, you see, that's really good. It's the same thing coming up here with this good start card and this whole hug. It's like people reuniting, people coming back together, like one soul, one country. Your soul is preparing to reestablish trust in the process. People learning to trust each other again. People being kind again, I would hope. Yeah. Okay, what else is coming up? Believing in new beginnings. This is all really good. What is this? It's all about starting new beginnings and reuniting and coming back together. So it says 26. So this is actually number 8. 2 6, 2 plus 6 equals 8. So it's Scorpio energy, number 8 energy. So believing in new beginnings. It says, I am the director of my life and understand the healing power of new beginnings. Okay. I feel, guys, this Pluto return is a powerful thing. And we see water energy here as well. And also, it could be something about, well, we see the girl in the canoe here, or kayak. It looks more like a canoe. But it could be something about reconciliation as well with indigenous peoples. Honestly, like, in my own brain, I feel like Trump is not such a giver to indigenous peoples, really. Like anything that Canada's done recently, for example, like truth and reconciliation, anything like that. But let's see what else the cards say about it. So what else comes up? Oh my gosh. 4th house again. Okay. So it's spiritual, mental, physical, as you did in the past. Wow. Your home base or your family, physical. Do what makes you feel secure in the fourth house. Now, this has come up. This actually came up in my reading about Canada as well, because Canada has been on a hard time economically for the past couple of years. But what came up and what's coming up here, I feel again, is that energy about people wanting to be more reunited, or more united, because in North America, there is this ongoing culture of like, let me just live on my own and be independent. But I feel young people, maybe even Gen Z, I feel like maybe Gen Z will actually be more willing and open to have long-term, stable partnerships. I feel people like recognizing the need for family again, basically, because I feel like people have been so independent. Or there's been this kind of shift in the past, I don't know, 20 years or so, toward people just saying, okay, I don't want to, ever get married. I don't ever want to have kids. With the cards coming up, like, things keep telling me that people are shifting and changing and wanting home and family life and believing in children again, wanting to have a stable family life, home life, and try to take care of each other, like as a community. It's more like as a communal kind of energy, like we need community, we need people around us, we need shoulders to lean on, people to depend on. I get that energy coming up here with this fourth house energy. Fourth house is about the home, it's about the family. We saw that already here. Number 4 energy, calm within the storm. So it's like peace at home. And what it says here, yeah, as you did in the past. So it is kind of people like turning back the clock and realizing, actually, family existed for a reason, to take care of each other. So I feel people kind of coming back to that shift, family in whatever way it is, because we are living in a new world and things are progressing, I'm not talking like, like trad family, anything like that. I'm talking about like people need their clan, they need their people who look after them, look out for them, people, no person is an island. So what else is coming up? Eclipse. That's really interesting. Again, we have this thing about union of opposites. And I feel like with this card coming up, so we have here that number 2 energy and also this Aries energy, which is first house or first sign energy, which can speak to actually the body. And we see the mountains here. So I feel there could be something about the land, something about the earth of the USA itself, or something to do with like the energy I'm getting from this card actually is something to do with land assets or like mineral assets or something that's taken from the earth, something that could be like oil or gas or like pipelines or like water or something to do with like ecological kind of stuff. And with the number 2 energy coming up here, since the second house is about money, and by the way, Pluto is in the second house of the US, like there is that energy here. You see, conceal, mask, merge, transform, hide, overshadow. Yeah, so there may be something which is covered up or tried, the government may try to conceal it coming up this year. Something about that type of energy stuff, Okay, so what else is coming up? So Abyss. This card is giving Pluto energy. Actually, it's a Neptune card. This sign is Neptune. So something about water for sure going on this year. I know that there are parts of the US where they don't have clean water. Maybe things will be fixed with that. But what I am seeing right now, actually, I'm being told about, it could be like transportation, um, transportation of goods, like shipping, something to do with water. Um, yeah, maybe Navy, something to do with development of Navy. What else comes up? Healing. That's very good. And with the green energy here, it is that energy of healing through communication, healing through speaking, healing through speakers. Things may be hashed out in a peaceful way, you know, between people who have differences, between different countries as well, between the US and different countries. Um, there can be things which are healed or fixed this year. It's going to be a good year. That's good, I feel. What else now comes up? We have this one. Listen. Oh, you see, it's that green speaking energy as well as listen. So the secrets of the sea become apparent when we listen to the sound within the shells. It's very interesting because we know that the sea is so big and the shells are little things within the sea, you know? It's that kind of energy like, you know, there's something in some more like Eastern texts, like Vedic texts, which is that, you know, we're all like small drops of the ocean, of the spiritual ocean, that like we exist within a bigger, how to say, like a bigger spectrum. You know, like there are millions of countless souls in this world, and each soul is like a small droplet. And that's kind of the energy going on here with this card. It's like the shell, you know, if you put a shell to your ear, you can hear the ocean there. So it's this kind of energy of like listening to small voices, listening to people, listening to what they say, you know? And now we know that we have all social media. We have TikTok and we have like Instagram and we have Facebook and all that stuff, you know? And it's like people are able to listen to voices that would not be heard in previous generations. So I do see that whole, you know, stuff going on with social media, people revealing truth and finding common ground between each other in 2025, 2026. So what is some advice? What is some other advice that comes up now for the US? This is the Messages of Life deck. Or what is something we need to know for the next solar year of the US? Beyond. Okay, it says, today I lift my consciousness above all worldly illusions. I remember the power I have in every situation. I always have a choice in how I respond. Today I choose to turn my thoughts toward God. By focusing my awareness beyond the illusions of the material world, I experience simplicity and peace. Yeah. Actually, with the Pluto return, another aspect is that it can be about spiritual awakening as well, like a new spiritual awakening. And we have seen that many people in the US in recent years are turning essentially away from traditional religion and toward general spirituality or spiritual seeking in a way. So, is that any of you here on my video? You know, maybe I'm one of those people, but yeah. So, what comes up? What exactly do we need to know for the future of the US coming this year? That's interesting. The Empress came up like this. The Empress in reverse. That's really interesting. What else do we need to know? These ones keep falling out, so I guess we're meant to have them. It says Ace of Wands here. Okay, so Ace of Wands in reverse. What else? 10 of Pentacles in reverse as well. 5 of Cups. Okay. So what do we need to know about this coming year for the US, 2025, 2026? 6 of Swords. Okay. What else? Nine of Wands. It's actually this one. Page of Swords. Okay. That's interesting. So we have Major Arcana. The first thing coming up is Major Arcana, the Empress. The Empress in reverse. Huh. I hope with this card we're not going into a Handmaid's Tale kind of situation. But it doesn't really seem like that, you know, and we've got water coming up here. A lot of water coming up here in these cards today. But you know what water actually is? I believe I mentioned it in a previous video, is water. The whole terminology of water is used when describing the flow of abundance and the flow of money and the flow of assets and things, you know, coming up. So I feel like what we're seeing here is a lot of things regarding money. Now, with Five of Cups, in reverse especially, 5 is always that number where things are like broken, something's not right, something is, you know, it's the negation. It's like the loss of that energy. So with 5 of Cups in reverse, now 5 of Cups upright, it would tell me directly that there are going to be some emotional or moral hard times coming up for sure in the US coming up into this next year. But, you know, it's in the reverse here. So it makes me feel like things will be actually softer than absolute hardship, you know. And I see here with 6 of Swords, a big energy of hopefulness. And by the way, number 6 is that card, is that number in astrology, which is really about hospitals in a way. About hospitals, about healthcare, about sickness, and potentially there could be some changes coming up to Medicare in the US this year, or I just feel something like about a general energy of like we take care of our own, like we want to take care of our people, you know. With 6 of Swords here, the swords is that energy of like thinking about something, like something in your mind. Like if it's not something that happens necessarily this coming solar year, it could be just that the idea is put out there, that there is some like new thing which is just, you know, the ball rolling. It's starting. It's not necessarily being put in place this year. So what else do we have? We have 9 of Wands, Page of Swords, both in reverse. So with that 9 of Wands energy, number 9 is that energy of Jupiter, and it is that energy of the 9th house, which is all about teachers, like gurus. And Wands is that energy of taking steps towards something. So it's about actions. We have Page of Swords here as well, also in reverse, and 2 female energy cards. So it's that yin energy. I feel like there could be something with this about educational systems. Now, yeah, we have seen a growing divide recently in the US between classes, social classes. So I would say I actually do feel some worry about these cards coming up with that whole 9 energy. It's like in reverse as well. It's like something is not going right with school system in the US. And with that Page energy, Page is a young person, you know, a naive person, and especially we see these female figures here. It gives me that feeling of you know, people that need to be cared for or educated, like young people, children. Something is not going right with that coming up in the next year. I believe we did see Trump passing some legislation which is like dismantling the Department of Education or something in the government, right? So it looks like things are going to continue to go wrong with that. I would say I worry about that. With 10 of Pentacles here, Ace of Wands here. Now, what I am seeing in this 10 of Pentacles card and Ace of Wands card here is I'm seeing that whole energy of like, it's all coming up here with the Empress, 5 of Cups, all of that. It's like people are not satisfied with the government. Okay, yeah, I mean, we know it, you know, people are not satisfied with the government. People are worried about how the government is treating them personally and treating their, with the 10 of Pentacles coming up here and seeing that energy, as well as Five of Cups, you know, as well as Ace of Wands, all of these things, it's telling me that people don't trust the government to take care of them anymore. People don't trust that the government is going to do things to help them specifically. So it's this energy of like, we need family, we need pockets of people who are support networks, who will connect with us, who will take care of us. I'm seeing as well, I believe I mentioned this in readings before, but this whole shift of people being like, we have to try to do something for ourselves, you know. We do see this movement toward people like living off grid, um, you know, living off grid in a tiny house, or like homesteading again. And it's like that Five of Cups energy, like, we're doing this because we're not satisfied with the world, you know, with the world that the government is creating. Like, we realize that our system is broken, that things are not right. With the Empress in reverse here, yeah, that is the energy. It's like the Empress being the empire, you know, the American empire, you can say. It's like in reverse, it's like she's not working well, you know. Yeah. She's not working well. And with the white dove, you know, it's like the peace was there, the abundance was there, the greatness was there. Guys, I had a problem with my phone, so as I was saying, not exactly sure where I left off, but I was saying that I feel like people are not satisfied with the systems that are going on. And like that, there is this move where it's like we are backing away from faith and loyalty to the government and to trusting those governmental systems. And it's like I'm seeing here with all the cards, it's like people banding together as themselves, like as communities of people, and getting away also from the city or from old traditions in many instances, especially with the Pluto return energy coming up. But with this Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, there's that whole energy of like not trusting the education system or not trusting education. With the Six of Swords, I get this like Exodus kind of energy, you know. And yeah, I was just watching this old movie from 1998, Prince of Egypt. If you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic animated film. But yeah, Six of Swords, like, we want to be free from the things that have, you know, been created for us, or that were created. And I am hearing right now this message of free from our ancestors, actually, and free from the constraints of things that we thought we knew. These are the messages I'm getting coming up. Yeah, so I want to ask if there are any like big particular events that we need to know about coming up, or any really important things that we need to know about for this next solar year of the US. So what is it? Okay, celebration. Celebration at home. Of course it is 4th of July, so yeah, 4 energy, home energy. Overall, I do see that there is this energy of like people feeling happier with the United States' stance on the world stage is what I'm seeing coming up this year. That the US actually could, some conflicts in the world could be ending. Some conflicts that the US have been a part of could be actually ending this year. So anything else we need to know? Okay, you're popping out. So what do we need to know? That's interesting. Pearl. We have seen quite a lot of Cancer coming up in this chart today, with that 4 energy, and quite a lot of Aries as well. So it's interesting that Aries is kind of like the body, so it can be considered like the land itself, and then the Cancer energy can be considered like the mother, or like this softness kind of energy. So it says emotional force, opening up, experiential wisdom, honesty, intuition, perception, loyalty, the moon. Yeah, the moon energy, subconscious mind, hidden things, diving deep layers, developing character. Yeah. You know, the US is going through a maturation process, you know? Like other countries in the world have been around for quite a lot longer, I'd say. Of course, every country has problems and issues. Um, but you know, many countries in the world are quite a lot older, and the US is kind of like a baby country in itself. So it's like dealing with these issues that I feel like it hasn't actually dealt with before, you know, many different things. So it's like learning in time with wisdom. Um, and yeah, I want to take one more actually, one of these, and ask if there is anything else we need to consider, anything else we need to know for this year coming up. If there's anything people should be aware of, any danger. So we got two cards coming up. Letting go. Okay. Now is the time to let go of everything that no longer serves me. So it is that energy of number two, letting go of. I feel this message about, you know, the American dream, that whole idea that you can come to America and do whatever you want, you know, and make it. If you're a beggar, you can become the president even. But with letting go, it could be that energy of like people starting to realize that like we shouldn't be only after money, because number two is also a lot about money. It's that energy of like wanting to do more and do better for other people, you know, and for oneself as well. It's like that energy of letting go of striving toward just simple monetary gain or capitalism. And one more, it says, I have choices. I don't have to be stuck in something that no longer fits. I have choices always. That's interesting. I feel like actually this year we are going to see a lot of people potentially leaving the US with the number five energy here. It's negation, and you see this girl. I feel that many people could actually be walking away from the US this year. Not only about deportation, I feel like there may be something about that, but I feel like people kind of like losing faith. Um, yeah, I mean, many people have lost faith already, but there are going to be goods and bads coming up in this year, is what I can say. So, yeah, guys, if you like this reading, yeah, please give me a like, comment, you know, share, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that I do like to take viewer requests. So if there are any world events or celebrities, politicians, or political situations that you're interested in hearing about, please comment down below. I do consider these things. I try to read as much of the comments as I can. So, yeah, guys, until next time, stay in love, stay in the light. Happy 4th of July, American Independence Day to you all. Bye.